One of the greatest sins that will cause many believers to be left behind is unforgiveness. Forgiveness is not just about saying the words, "I forgive you." It goes much deeper. A true test of forgiveness is this. When you come face to face with the person who hurt you, do you still feel uneasy, bitter, or unsettled in your heart? Or when you hear their voice in the presence of others, how do you feel? If you feel irritation, discomfort, or tension, then full forgiveness has not yet taken root. Someone may ask, "But how do I forgive a man who killed my father?" I also put this to you. Why should God forgive you for your constant disobedience? Why should He forgive your stealing, lying, fornication, manipulation, and every other sin? Yet in His mercy, He forgives freely. Yes, forgiveness can feel almost impossible, especially when it involves the loss of a loved one. But this is why we must pray daily for strength, because we cannot do it in our own power. Forgiveness does not mean leaving the door wide open for further hurt. You can cut off relationships or set boundaries, but you must ensure that forgiveness is complete in your heart. If the sight of a brother or sister, or even the sound of their voice, still irritates you deeply, then the work of forgiveness is not finished. Somebody somewhere may say, "I can't forgive my aunt. When my parents died, she made me suffer. Now that I am doing well, I will not remember her either." This is the type of hurt that lingers for many years, simmering as though waiting for revenge. Such bitterness only traps the heart, prevents peace, and can even damage your relationship with God. Holding on to this anger doesn't punish the other person, it punishes you. I used to be the type where I would think, honestly, I have forgiven. But then in conversations with people, when the topic came up, I would get uneasy. I would think, I could have said this, but I didn't. I could have reacted that way, why didn't I? Then I realized it was the Holy Spirit constraining my lips, teaching me to think before I speak. Because if I had spoken without His seal, it would have been destructive. I am thankful that I have progressed, and I constantly make it a daily prayer. It is hard work, but with God's grace you can sail through. Remember, you cannot expect God to forgive you if you refuse to forgive your brother or sister. Jesus is love, and if we claim to love Him, then we must walk in love and forgiveness.